Welcome to Queer Coded Country, where Yee-Haw meets Yes Queen.
A podcast about growing up in the South and realizing that it's pretty dang queer. I'm Tucker.
And I'm Hunter.
And Hunter, I thought the assignment tonight was to wear somebody with talent, which is why I've got Gaga on my chest.
Okay, well, here's the thing. While we are talking about talent, and honestly, to be honest, we're always talking about talent because we're talent.
Yes, the queers are talented.
Yes,
Queers got talent.
The queers are talented.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. So we're talking about talent shows tonight, talent, whatever. And I really, really intended to go to my storage unit because I really think in my little costumes bag, I have an outfit I wore in a talent show from an earlier year.
And what is the outfit?
Well,
do you want to describe what it
I was
or
Elvis.
should we just
Let me bust the news. I was
Bust the
Elvis,
news,
and I've already
please.
been grappling with how problematic this is today.
Okay.
Because I had to realize, well, Elvis was problematic, and here I was being Elvis. But so anyway, but not the problematic part.
That's right, of course.
Well, we'll see when I describe.
You were a hound dog. That was so
why
corny.
was that the song that I sang? You
Was
are
it?
already getting ahead of me.
Sorry.
I swear to God. Anyway.
I'm clairvoyant. That's one of my talents.
Oh my God. Done. Stop filming. I am going to put myself down the trash chute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so because I didn't have time to make it to my storage unit, I was like, well, what kind of talent would I want? Who is someone that has talent that I have something in my closet that is like you wearing Lady Gaga? And I immediately thought of the naked cowboy in Times Square.
I mean, talk about talent, honey.
I mean, all he's doing is scamming tourists all day and being grunge hot.
He's a vendor. I mean, truly.
Can you order a cutout of him from Oriental Trading Company for a New York themed prom?
Oh my God, wow. If they don't do that already, they should start
And
to.
hopefully they use me
as
the model.
I mean, I will say I freaking love this.
Oh,
and
thank
I
you.
do think you have to wear this again in like Fire Island or some other moment.
I'm wearing it to work next week.
Because it's cute. It's super cute. I love those boots.
I know. Honestly, they're kind of my whole personality. Anyway.
Yes.
So my chaotic brain, it's been a week. We've been sick.
Yes.
We almost died.
So, okay. So to that end, how's your mom and them?
Oh, well. Not well, bitch.
Not well, bitch.
Not well.
We went from the tip of the tops to the
bottoms. We became tops and bottoms in a moment.
Been through it all, honey.
I mean, honestly, so mom and them were great.
Yeah.
Because when we say that we were tops, we were at the Casey Musgraves show in Nashville, opening of a new venue.
Yeah.
Small, intimate setting.
Yep.
I thought for most of the concert, she was singing to me.
Oh my gosh.
In that, how's your mom and them? Great. Never been better. What a concert.
I mean, literally, I was quaking from the sheer excitement and just being so close to her and her doing a new song.
Oh, songs that
about her dog,
that
Pepper.
she's never sing before. Sing. Also, caveat for the title holders out there. I've had a long week. I'm a little drunk. I'm a little stoned. I asked for some grace. Back to Casey.
Give some grace.
She literally didn't just sing something she never sang before, but she sang a few songs she'd never sang live before. And she opened with Somebody to Love, which was your pick on your list, and then went into Dandelion.
I know, which is your list.
Which is my tattoo.
No, it was.
And I was dead from that moment. From this moment. Anyway,
it was perfect.
It was the best night of my life.
It was the best night of our life, and we had such a fun time in Nashville. It is shocking how much fun we had. We were so prepared to like enjoy ourselves, but we could not. Looking back, I can't believe we had the T of our L.
The T of our L. So we've already talked enough about Casey. Even though we could talk about that concert, wait for part 2, Casey. Yeah. It's about the concert. What I want to talk about is the time we had after. And we can't go into all of the specifics because some things that happen at QCC HQ are meant to stay
That's right.
at
Behind closed doors.
QCC HQ. But to give you context of the T of L we were having, I have video footage of co-host Tucker Travis laying on the sidewalk in front of the Showgirls Nashville boutique sign, acting like Brooke Wyndham from Legally Blonde, giving us a performance that includes dance, aerobics, fitness, Pilates, and fucking then getting an 18-wheeler to toot, toot, honk, honk at him as he ended the performance.
Wait, do it for the trade. Do it for the trade. Do it for the trade.
I would like to note that we have famously canceled shame on this podcast in multiple episodes.
So herefore.
And so we went into the Casey concert with no shame and ended up outside of a strip club dancing for an 18-wheeler fully dressed.
I mean, and so you'll have to excuse us because while we had the time of our lives, someone in Nashville also decided to hex us. And
they hurt us.
We both came back with flu B and
flu A, B, C, D, E. I know that alphabet.
We were down bad.
We were down bad. I had strep, don't forget.
Yeah, well, luckily it didn't make its way to me, but good Lord.
Dead.
The girls got sick.
The girls got sick. Brian got sick. John got sick. The girls got sick. But honey,
we were living still.
I'd do it again.
I absolutely.
And that's why I'm fucked up right now. The Sudafed, all of the things. Here, but we're here.
That's right.
You know what?
Also in Nashville, while we were there, we decided let's just fully lean into the Nashville roots. And so we decided to watch a queer-coded,
deep cut.
A deep cut, thank you.
And dub, because it's a song about music. Yeah, a deep fucking cut.
So we found a deep cut while we were in Nashville.
Movie.
Country Strong.
Because I'm country strong.
I mean, amazing performance by Gwyneth
Paltrow, Leighton
Meester. Thank you.
And Tim McGraw.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Tim McGraw.
It's such a good, we had forgotten how good it was, but we also forgot about how cunty some of the lines are.
And also the fact that if Queer Coded Country was a movie, it's probably Country Strong.
Truly.
Because let me just start by saying that there's a scene where Leighton Meester's character demonstrates her 7 different pageant styles. Well, for interview, you've got, and for
Hunter
talent,
Smiles.
you've got
Hunter Smiles with teeth.
Childs, pageant queen, 7 Smiles, ain't playing county fairs no more.
Oh my gosh.
An icon.
Child standing in the county fair. You know that in order to get to the state fair, you have to perform a talent at the county fair. So therefore,
because you are a state
fair champion.
County fair. Oh.
I'm a state fair. Well, I'm a both. I'm both.
I'm a both.
I'm a Phillips County Fair champion and therefore an Arkansas State Fair champion.
The fuck is Phillips County?
Phillips County is where Pine Bluff is in.
Oh, I thought you were Craighead. Or were you Craighead?
No, I'm Arkansas County. The founding.
The founding county. Not you being an Arkansas County, Arkansas girly.
That's right. It's my blood.
Oh my God. Well, I was Craighead, giving head.
Yes, exactly. Of course. Classic. So county fairs lead the state fairs, which is all about talent shows and showing your talent and performing in front of people. And honestly, I don't know if it's queer coded. I don't know if it's just fucking queer, but the queer, like I said, queer's got talent. And I feel like talent shows are such a way to I'm just going to answer the question right now. What's queer coded about a talent show is having a secret and then wanting to show it to the world.
Fuck. Oh my God. I'm going to fall out of this fucking chair.
And that is what is queer coded about a talent show. And
oh my God.
You're
truly, always blowing my mind in this seat. It's crazy.
But it's so funny. So what was a talent show to you growing up? Did you have always have talent shows growing up, or did you see talent shows in media? What were your talent show influences?
Well, it's first of all, I just want to say yes.
Right.
It is.
Period.
I just want to say yes. It is like your dirty little secret.
Yes.
That all of a sudden you have a stage to fucking perform.
Yep.
Beside the fact that gays just are talented, that's the part of it. So anyway, my exposure, so we only had middle school talent shows.
Yeah.
And that makes me think actually too, where my now chaotic brain is going is also talent shows in the media. Your next challengers are young girls from Houston. Please welcome Beyonce, Nina, Lativia, Nikki, Kelly, the hip hop rapping Girls Time. Like Star Search and Casey on Star Search.
I mean,
like that was talent.
Star Search. Also, the Judds were judges on Star Search.
My God, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But of course.
Yeah.
So that was like growing up. It was always very talent shows feel like young to me.
Yes, exactly.
It's like the early years.
But also like seeing it on television and seeing people perform multiple types of
yeah. Do you think John Bonet was on Stunts? Anyway.
What was John Bonet's talent? Anyway. Disappearing. And
as the Queer Coded Country legal team, we have determined that this statement was not made at the expense of John Bonet Ramsey and her family during this time.
At Queer Coded Country headquarters, we believe that John Bonet Ramsey is a gay icon, but is not, in fact, dead, but Katy Perry.
Justice for John Bonet.
And so...
Anyway.
But yeah, like Star Search, like now we have America's Got Talent and stuff, but for
I've
me...
I've never seen that, unless it's a viral clip.
Yeah, unless it's Susan Boyle. I don't know what's going on. But honestly, like...
Why do I feel like I kind of low-key want to do Susan Boyle drag?
You could totally do it.
Oh my God.
Okay, but beyond that...
Hear my flu in that note.
I feel like there was definitely a Degrassi talent show that influenced me. There was Battle of the Bands, which Sammy and I have connected on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I remember just being like, okay, a talent show is something that I've seen in like teen media that I was consuming way too early the age group that I needed to be. And always wanted and had a desire to perform in front of my peers in a way that was like, I have a talent. I have something special. You might be calling me faggot. You might be asking me if I'm a girl. You might be doing all these things and bullying me. But like, I have something special and I have a talent. I can tap dance circles around you.
I knew. You're like, bitch, say what you want, but you cannot tap like me.
Exactly. And I always wanted to do something like that.
School.
Yes.
You
exactly.
wanted to break out of the confines of Pine Bluff Dance Academy and perform for all of DeWitt.
Yeah, but I was too afraid to like bring it back a little bit. Yes,
of course. Well, it's funny because one, love that.
Yeah.
And they didn't deserve to see you tap, honey, because I've seen it.
You have to watch it on DVD, baby. You should have bought from the Pine Bluff Dance Academy.
Okay, well, speaking of DVD, that's where I was going because before I was ever officially entered in a talent show, went to Vegas with my family in 4th grade. You know enough about me to know we don't need to ask why. Yeah. And at one of the casinos, you could go into a video booth and pick a song.
What? I'm ready.
And perform, and it would like give you the background of being in a music video. You want to know what song I did?
Can't Fight the Moonlight.
No, I was too young.
Oh, okay,
I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
Baby Got Back.
No.
Yeah, baby. When it comes to females. And it's on video. And we will find it. And I danced my ass off and I knew every fucking word.
I mean, so you're bringing up a great point, which like, there's so many different ways of like showing talent. Like clearly like there's like the competition talent shows that like get you skyrocketed to fame in Arkansas at the State Fair. And then there's also like the little talent shows that you do like just for like small groups of people. Like,
yeah, well, we're famously always performing.
Honey, like life is a talent show.
Life is a talent show.
It's not a cabaret. It's a talent show.
Well, Liza would disagree.
Happy birthday, Liza.
It's her fucking birthday, so don't you dare say life is a talent show, not a cabaret or whatever you just said in disrespect. Liza.
Nothing but respect to cabaret.
So obviously, there are like county fairs.
Right.
the state fair, which you famously won.
Yeah.
Actual talent shows. But I feel like too, like similar to the video booth.
Yep.
There are tiny little talent shows that happen forever.
Yep.
And I feel like you told a story once that makes me feel like you were always kind of giving a talent show, and I want to know more about it.
Honey, if there was a group of 5 or more, it's a talent show.
Smoking or non.
Yeah.
It's a group of 5 or more, smoking or non.
At Shoney's, I was doing.
Oh my God. I was Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah.
But
So for Christmas, like anytime there was like a group of people, I was getting the girls together and we were doing a skit.
yeah.
But growing up, like there didn't even have to be an audience. My friend Haven would babysit her little sister Hera and I when our parents would go to the Pam Pam together.
What's
And
the Pam
The
Pam?
Pam Pam is a dinner club in Stuttgart, Arkansas.
Oh my God.
And
yeah.
they
It's like the
would go out.
501.
Yeah, exactly. And so she would babysit us and we would immediately start choreographing a dance.
Yeah.
And we were prepared to perform the dance
Right.
at any moment.
Yeah.
So it was just like that set the stage for like doing that multiple times and just like me becoming comfortable
Yeah.
with performing in front of people.
With expressing your talent.
Yes, exactly. Honey,
Yeah. Honey, because you had them.
learned that from an early age. And
Talented from an early age.
so it really was like not knowing how to like deal with stage fright in a little bit of way,
yeah.
but like kind of always knowing how to deal with stage fright too, because you're like, my
Yeah.
talent hiding the fact that I'm gay.
Yeah, well, I was
and,
gonna say
yeah.
I never had the stage fright, honey, but I was always doing the talent. But it's funny you talked about a babysitter too, and how that comes into play because I literally just sent you this photo. But I was talking to my babysitter and my bestie, Lindsay and Lacey. Shout out to my lovers, but they sent a photo this week, and it was like in today's photos that will surprise no one from the past or
Yeah.
something like that. And it was them putting me in a stunt, and I was like the top of the cheerleader stunt.
Yes.
And like that's a talent. Like we were doing a talent show in a swimming pool.
Yes.
And like that was probably the
For
best.
the disposable camera.
That bitch. Who even knew who
Yes.
took it? Our moms definitely were
Exactly.
inside smoking a cigarette or something.
Inside
like,
smoking a
literally.
cigarette.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
you smoked inside then. But no, literally, like my response back to that
Yeah.
was like, well, that was probably the best day of my life then
Yeah.
because I was performing.
Yeah.
I was on the top of the pyramid, something anyone else didn't
And
get
you
to
were
do.
getting validation from the photographs, from the
Look at
photography.
these photographs.
Talk about a talent.
Okay.
Okay. So clearly that's
We
like
love
how-
talent.
That's how
Clearly, we're talented.
Yes. And that's how like what informed our perception of talent. Like, did you ever perform in a talent show?
Oh my God, of course.
Outside of the pool.
Well, I was always performing, but I was formally entered into many talent shows
Many.
in middle school.
Yeah.
Every year. That was the whole thing. I must take a sip.
Yes. So you were entered into talent shows
Yes.
from a young age.
Okay, well, I say entered and entered. It's
you, know
like
what? You sound like Stacey and Marshall or show mom
yeah,
and
yeah,
dad.
yeah. Well, mom was a good talent
Stage
show
mom, I mean.
Stacey is a talent show mom.
Yeah.
So I say entered, but in our town, you had to audition. But mom was like, well, I don't want other people seeing what your talent is going to be.
Come
like,
on, Stacey.
I mean, at the time, I didn't even know. But she was like, well, we're not going to have all the competition seeing what your talent is going to be.
Period.
So she would go up to the school and have the conversation with my choir teacher at the time, Miss Northern, who coordinated the talent show. And she would just tell what the talents would be and get them approved.
Yes.
Automatic entry. But you otherwise had to like try
Audition,
out
yeah.
or listen. And listen, probably did they let everyone in? Yeah, but they were,
just making sure they weren't bumping and grinding on stage.
Okay, well, that's part of my talent show narrative.
Oh,
multiple
okay,
times.
Okay.
So I was in the middle school talent show always. Most children had to audition. I only had to audition one time due to a mishap from the year before.
What was the mishap? You ended up bumping and grinding?
Okay, well, so one of the talent shows that my mom and I coordinated for myself was
Ever the pageant coordinator.
where I got it, honestly.
That's right.
I did Look at Me, I'm Sandra D. Stalkered Channing
I'm dead because I love Stalker Channing and
And-
also that's fierce.
and fag. Like literally,
hello?
That's what I'm like, what are we going to do? I probably loved Grease at the time. We're like coordinating.
So were you in drag or?
I was in silk pink pajamas, balloons as titties, and
I
a
bet this was a
blonde
hit.
wig. Honey, I was a star. I literally, so we had choreography and you couldn't really have props. Like we didn't have tons of props, but I had like a chair and like that I was working around. And the song famously starts, "Look at me, I'm Sandra D."
Yeah, that's right.
Lousy with virginity.
This is a chilling foreshadowing.
And I said, won't go to bed till I'm legally wed.
Are you singing or lip syncing?
Lip syncing.
So this is RuPaul's variety show.
Yeah, early on. But I got disqualified for saying virginity. Oh my God. And that's on Arkansas Abstinence Only Education.
Period.
Because also the rest of the song is a little risque.
Yeah.
And I was in slutty pajamas.
Yeah.
But I was stalkered, honey.
Yeah. Were there multiple people in the number?
Oh, no, just me.
Oh.
Oh, honey, I was the star. I was on stage alone. But the scene, she's like rolling around on the bed.
Of course.
So I'm doing that on stage in drag, basically singing a song about being a lousy virgin.
I haven't seen Grease in a long time.
Well, we need to. Well, I'll perform it.
Yeah.
Let me get that.
Great.
Honey, let me get that out. So anyway, iconic performance. Iconic of my mother to be like, yeah, baby, let's go up there.
No one's going to see this talent.
Yeah.
Lock the doors.
Yeah, honey, you get up there and you live your fantasy. And then I got disqualified.
And that's why Stacey is the title holder.
Well, Ultimate Grand Supreme.
Yeah, that's right.
But so that year, disqualified. So the next year, I had to try out. But you want to know what gets better?
Tell me.
I had decided, this feels so weird, but I somehow decided I wanted to sing Chattahoochee by, oh my God, why did
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson. Jesus.
Yeah.
Take the wheel, not Carrie.
Yeah.
Canceled. So anyway, I decided I wanted to sing Chattahoochee. So this year I have to audition.
Yeah.
Well, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. I didn't get in.
Shut up.
I was always too risque for the West Side Middle School talent show.
This just, again, is a foreshadowing of the person that I know today.
I mean, honestly.
You wouldn't make a talent show today if you auditioned. not because you don't have talent, but because you would skirt past the guardrails of whatever they're saying.
Safe.
That's right.
I'm not brand safe. And famously, you say, I almost was naked on this entire podcast because I am famously the naked cowboy and was earlier wearing something that made it look like I was wearing no pants. So again, I can't even do my own podcast.
We need to
getting in trouble.
monetize at some point is what we're saying.
Well, OnlyFans is a talent and I'm ready.
So we had
coming for the ass out.
So we had talent shows. It was very random.
Okay.
It was like we had talent shows like whenever they felt like it. Whenever I don't know.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Ours, once a year, you had your chance.
It was basically once a year, but like I don't remember every year there being a talent show.
There wasn't like a season. You weren't like always gearing up for talent show season.
Right, exactly. And so
but you would have.
It depended on the student council that year. And who was in office. And so
oh, not in office.
The administration, it really depended. And so we had middle school talent shows, and so I performed like my senior year of middle school in 8th grade. My
senior year of middle school?
Well, it was
that's
like
not a thing.
It was like the last year.
That's not a fucking thing.
It was
Just say at the end of middle school.
No.
Senior year of middle school is not a fucking thing.
It's to me.
Title holders, weigh in. Anywhere you see this, that's not a fucking thing. But go on.
It was.
No.
Anyway, we were big dogs on campus. And so we decided.
Hound dogs.
Yeah, famously. That's right. Yeah, that's right. We dug up an old sketch that my cousins had done like years prior. And it was, everyone was set in a nursing home and everybody dressed up like an old person. And the whole bit was, we were like basically dead until Bob Seger's Old Time Rock and Roll started playing.
No.
And then we would dance.
No.
It like brought us to life. Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger. What? And
you know, because I just know that you were dressed to the 99s. And when just take those old records off off the shelf.
Yes.
You came to life. You became the Germantown topper.
Well, he's always been in there.
Honey, we let him out too much lately.
The beginning, it's like, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
I was like, when it started playing, I was bouncing my shoulders. I was like asleep. I was an asleep old person. I was like, dun-dun-dun. Like I couldn't help it. So that was the first talent show that I ever was in. And then the second talent show I did. Well, also, by the way, all of these talent shows happened in the cafeteria. So get your Fruitopia and come down to the cafeteria.
Not the Fruitopia.
Oh, bitch. The 50 cents.
Swear to God, because they ban caffeine in Arkansas, so we could only get Fruitopia. So let's get rid of the caffeine and let's add the added sugar.
Oh, my favorite was the pink one.
You fucking piece of shit, bitch.
No, of course.
Same.
It had a white label.
Yeah. Do not do this to me or Fruitopia.
Yeah.
You fruity Fruitopia talent show faggot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, anyway.
My talent shows were in the cafeteria, but then my senior year, while I wanted to do like a solo
senior year of high school or senior year of middle school? Because see, this is why it doesn't make sense, because I clearly and explicitly stated that I only had talent shows in middle school. Don't start talking. And therefore, everyone knows
drinking.
The talent shows I'm talking about are middle school talent shows. Therefore, they can have a sense of my age. Here you go talking about your talent shows, which are your senior year of middle school. So now I'm imagining little baby I was going to say Taggart, which was Faggot Tucker. And I meant Faggot Tucker.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but my senior year. And so I clarify, because most humans only know senior year as their
Here's
senior.
why I'm going to tie it up.
And now you're in high school. So suddenly I need an age with the talent show entry you're talking about.
I was 14 when I did the first talent show in middle school, and they like to show growth in DeWitt school systems. And so they kept the talent shows from middle school to high school to show how much growth you have. So when I turned 18, we did a talent show, which was just a classic, like, let's impersonate the teachers.
I was going to ask if you turning 18 had anything to do with the level of vulgarity of the talent show, or did you just follow my request to know the age when you were doing it?
Just that.
Okay.
But the connectivity is what the feeling was like of 8th grade. We're going into high school next year. Fuck it. I'm not going to see any of you 5th graders again. I'm going to do a fucking talent show to Bob Seger. So that was the mentality that I took into my senior year of high school talent show, which was like, I'm not going to see any of you 9th graders again. I'm going to impersonate the teachers and do a sketch and win the talent show.
When
me and my core, me and all the girls that were in AP English senior year did a skit of all the teachers. But it's funny that like I never actually showed. Well, I showed one of my talents, acting, and I wish I would have shown my like dance talent, because talent shows still mean something to me on a weird subconscious level. Because I still to this day, if I'm imagining like me being like presenting in front of the world and being my most like gay, talented self, I'm like performing at my high school. Like if I hear like, if I'm listening to Mayhem for the first time and I'm imagining me choreographing Zombie Boy, I'm imagining me doing it in front of my like high school and proving something in a weird way. So like,
as a tap dance.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Or just like me performing in front of the people that
hurt you.
Yes.
Bitch. And I think that is such a queer coded experience.
Yeah.
Where once you break free, once you famously cancel shame.
Yeah.
And you break free of like all of these feelings you have tied to certain things, and you look back on that time of your life, and you think about what do I want to say now? Or what would I do? Or how, we have this as queer people, because we were put down so much, we do have this natural draw to like kind of overcome it, but also be like, look at me now, bitch.
Exactly.
And that is actually really beautiful that that's your thing that you reflect on, because that was something that was so special about you. It was so important and you loved, and they didn't get to appreciate it
Well, I wanted to, it's like and like I don't mean that in any sort of way to anybody in high school or like any of my friends.
You don't have to
knew me or
apologize.
anything. No, I'm not
just gonna say that.
apologizing.
You don't have to apologize.
I'm not apologizing, but I'm just like, the people that loved me saw me perform.
Yes.
But for every time that I got on stage and was fearful of someone yelling fag from the audience,
Yes.
it has like built in me this like also anti-dream to that, which is like tap dancing circles to Can't Fight the Moonlight and getting a thunderous standing ovation.
So when you were in it, you were doing it and you had all of this fear, but now you want to do it and you want to do it so goddamn good that they have fear because they're like, how is this bitch that good?
Exactly.
That is
it's weird though.
really
Like I think
beautiful.
about it all the time and like it's that place in my mind that I'm like, that's where you have something to prove is weirdly back in high school or something. I'm like,
well, you don't have anything to prove, but I think that's a normal experience,
right?
But it's almost like we want to prove it, you know? Like that's how I feel sometimes. Like I have similar fantasies where it's like all of these things, and it's like I know deep down, like I've done the work to know that like I don't need that approval or whatever, but it's almost like I wish I could do it again with the confidence I have now and the love I have for the little boy that was in that situation.
Yeah. And I wish like if I could go back and do it again, I wish I would have had less shame in showing what I'm actually good at, which at the time was like tap dancing and like being like, damn, he may be gay, but he can tap dance.
I mean, honey, honey, you might be gay, but when you're gay, you tap dance.
Yeah, but he sure can impersonate the principal.
His quick ball step is out of this world. That's really beautiful though. And that is actually like,
it's true.
It's so true. And it's like a really beautiful like way to think back on that time. And that is what so much of this is about. And so much of what we talk about and why we love having these conversations is because it does give us the freedom in our mind to be like, yeah, that's what I would want to do if I could.
It's me seeking the validation that I didn't get at the time from the peers that I wanted to get the validation from at the time.
Well, I'm here to fucking validate you.
I ain't there yet, but I'm healing.
It's funny because you kind of tell that story and then I think about other talent shows that I was in and how actually I was in drag in 2 talent shows and I haven't even really like connected all of those dots, which also earlier when you started to talk about your group talent show performance and you were like, you know, me and my core, and you said like core English group or whatever.
Yeah.
But for some reason where my mind automatically went was that you were about to be like my core backup singers. like literally.
My backup singers.
Patty LaBelle. Hey, where are my backup singers? Like that's where my mind went. And then that like took me to another talent show I was in that was a group performance. Me, I think my friend Jackson and Dustin and one other, maybe my friend Blaine, I don't know. There were 4 of us. And we did... You're not ready for what I'm going to say.
I'm nervous.
Ain't No Mountain High. Because probably I was obsessed with Stepmom.
Who's not?
So we did the Diana Ross and the Supremes version.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And did drag. And again, another talent show where I was in drag and like my mom and my friends at this time were willing to do like, whoa, like what a moment that I, again, haven't thought about in a really long time, but like I like was in drag in, I think, 6th grade with my 3 best friends doing Diana Ross and the Supremes from my favorite movie, Stepmom, which is obviously how I discovered it.
Right, same.
And whoa. And it's like, you're saying you like, you know, too wanted to like do the thing that you loved and like, now that's the thing I love. And like, I did it then. And like the magnitude of that is like, was lost on me until this very moment.
The theme of what I hear us talking a lot about in this podcast and probably will continue to be a theme as we like explore certain things, but like it's expression. And
it was always expressing who was in there.
yes. Isn't that
because that is like I don't actually know if this is a fact, but it probably was my obsession with Stepmom that like made me and Grease and whatever that like made me want to do those things.
right? Yeah, I mean, you see in the things you consume, you see performance and expression on the highest level because it's about expressing emotion. And you see that, you connect with it. You're like, oh, that's how I can also express emotion and a little part of who I am, even though at that time you're like, I don't know that that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing Sandra D because I like the song.
Yeah. Well, and got famously disqualified.
And I love having balloon tits.
Yeah. Well, I had balloon tits and Diana Ross and the Supremes too. That was before I had a breastplate. Yeah.
Okay.
That was before I had a breastplate. But I actually think that was the only year that I won. The Diana Ross and the Supremes year was the year that I won. I did get a second place. To call back to earlier in the episode when you called me a hound dog or I called you a hound dog or where I was talking about the Elvis costume.
Yeah.
I did Elvis and you ain't nothing but a hound dog, second place. But in that one, I don't even think I lip sync. I think I literally just grinded my ass and hips and was just gyrating on stage.
Again, foreshadowing.
Probably 7th grade, like twerking my pussy in an Elvis costume on stage, not even trying to pretend like I know the words. But
just 2 minutes, just 2 minutes of ass shaking.
Yeah. You only got 4 minutes to save the world.
So we've talked about what talent shows are to us, how we performed in talent shows, like thinking about me imagining myself performing in a talent show now, like if you had the opportunity was presented to you and they were like, would you like to audition for a talent show? Like now, what would be your talent?
Well, famously, every year there are a group of queens that do this exact thing because of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
And the talent show Cabaret that they kick off the episode with. And I would like to say my personal stance is I wish they would stop letting them do their own music.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't want to hear your new song. Sometimes I do, but mostly I just want to see you like act a fool, whatever. Yes. And so what that brings me to is I can't remember if it was on Drag Race or like some video, but Bianca Del Rio's talent was like she came on stage with a sewing machine and made a dress like in under a minute and like put it on and was like wearing the dress. Yeah. And that was her talent, which is talent.
Yes.
Like that is good. So I think I would steal from her talent and I would do DIY glory hole making.
Yes.
Because I talked about that I made my glory hole DIY. Yes. So I would like literally get out like imagine me like throwing out the curtain, getting out my scissors, putting on the heels to measure the height, cranking the like the tension rod, cutting the hole, testing the height, like, and then like at the end, like, ding, and my mouth is as open as it can be.
Yes. Oh my God.
Or I get behind it and talk and perform. So it starts. Oh my God, I'm building.
Yes.
It starts. It starts.
Do it.
As the DIY glory hole building.
Yes.
Everyone thinks I'm done. Then
Here comes the real talent.
Yeah, honey. Open wide. and then I go behind the curtain. And it's also another bit because when I get behind the curtain, people think that I'm going to suck a dick. I have someone hold a microphone and I recite a powerful lyrical poem or sing a Casey Musgrave song.
Yeah. You sing Mother. Yeah.
Well, sorry, Stacey. Yeah. You can text Tucker about that one. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Like I'm signing up.
You do
Miss Fire Island 2025.
What do they call that? Like you do spoken word behind.
Oh!
Yeah, you do spoken word behind the glory hole. Oh
my God.
Yeah.
Spoken word through the glory hole. Hot guy holding the mic. Oh, next episode, I'm going to have my spoken word written.
Stranger enters apartment.
Will he be hard when he unzips or will it take way too long?
Whose talent's larger, his or mine?
Always mine.
Okay, so mine, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm sticking to my fantasies. And if I was in an adult talent show now, I'm dancing. I'm dancing for sure.
Ugh.
Like, because I feel like I still need to prove my worth.
You're still on the
Yeah,
quest.
yeah.
You're still trying. You're like, I am not giving
I'm on a
up.
humble quest.
Okay, Marin.
Marin.
Anyway,
so
digress.
I definitely would do some sort of tap dancing, but like it would be very much like Drop Dead Gorgeous, like little less conversation, a little more. Speaking of Elvis.
Well, yes, we both famously are Elvis.
Yeah. So I would probably do something like that. But if I was in a pageant.
Well, fuck. I thought we were never going to talk about it because obviously talent shows are talent shows, but every pageant has a talent. And it has to be unique. Like, everyone's singing. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Everyone's singing, right? And good for them.
Yeah.
And good for them. And I bet their voices are beautiful.
Yeah.
You know who I bet the people that sang at the talent shows in the pageants are the same moms standing around their kitchen table trying to replicate the Wicked battle cry.
Yeah, no, 100%. Hey,
no
guys.
offense to them.
Yeah. So your talent would be
well
in a pageant.
Yeah, in a pageant. Okay, so I want an out of the box talent because I'm not.
You got to stand out. You're not just going to sing.
Yeah. So I think I would ride a mechanical bull.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm going to blow.
Yeah.
I'm going to spin.
You never know what the mechanical bull's going to do.
And honestly, that's part of the fun is that that's the talent, honey. It's called real talent. I'm not up there on a choreographed mechanical bull. I'm riding it like I stole it.
That's
riding
right.
it like Seabiscuit. All of the things. And so I think I'd ride a mechanical bull in a dress, gown, rodeo queen, probably looking like Reba.
Yeah, I love that. So if I were going to be in a pageant, my talent would be extemporaneous speaking.
Well, first of all, can you define extemporaneous for me? Because I don't actually know.
Extemporaneous means like of the moment. Like I'm going to give you a topic and you talk about it.
Oh, like a TED Talk.
Yes,
but
exactly.
on the spot.
Yes.
Or like drag roulette.
Yes, exactly. Like your topic is this and go.
Okay.
And so when I was talking about a talent show, FBLA,
Future Business Leaders of America.
When I was in
I was also in it.
Yes.
I was also in the public speaking category.
I was my chapter reporter.
Oh, honey.
Yes.
What'd you report on?
Not a lot. But I remember I signed up for extemporaneous speaking and they give you a topic and they give you like 10 minutes to write a speech.
Okay.
And I remember writing it and then fucking it up left and right. I stuttered, I stumbled, I spilled everything. There were probably like 7 people that competed in this category.
Okay. But only 7.
Yeah,
select few.
Only 7. Second place, bitch.
Well, who got first?
I don't know. Somebody that did better. Somebody that clearly extemporaneously spoke better than I could. But you know what they didn't do, probably?
What? Tell me. Speak on it.
Go up to every judge's hand and shake their hand and say, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you. And that's what got me second place,
That
baby.
is what got you second place, bitch.
Congeniality got me second place.
That is writing a handwritten thank you note.
Exactly.
That's the same thing. Well, okay. Well, now that I know what extemporaneous speaking is.
That's right.
And that you are so talented at that. Would you like a challenge? Would you like to extemporaneously speak
Let's do it.
on a topic? The topic is what I can see directly in front of me. Let me hear it.
When I look at what's before me, I see a lot of life. And I see a lot of different objects that mean probably a lot of different things to this person. On a table where you may throw your keys, you find sunglasses or old Polaroid pictures of moments in time that you cherish very much so. Or you might find pens that you might write your work notes. You might write your thank you letters on top of. But honestly, what all of that amounts to are all of the things that sum up to a unique person's point of view. And I think it's really special when all of that converges into one. And thank you for being here today. And thank you so much for coming to this and just lending an ear for a moment. You know what I mean? And honestly, it just means a lot that you were here.
I am going to absolutely piss in this Cowboy Carter sash. First of all, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
And I was going to ask you, like, as an adult, like, talent shows aside, like, what are your, like, weird talents? And now you just did the weirdest thing I've ever heard. So I, like, don't even know if I want to know what you might have pre-planned to share after hearing that. But what would you say your random talents are?
I only wrote one down. and
I wrote many. So difference between you and I.
So you might want to inform me of what my talents are.
Oh, yes. Okay.
The one talent that I wrote down is being a showgirl. And because
videos to come from whatever Showgirls bar was outside Playhouse.
Yes. Like, I just feel like I could embody that spirit
You were
of a showgirl.
Yeah. You
like,
do have showgirl
and like a
energy.
true showgirl, not like I'm a stripper. Not that there's any shade to any of that. Mad respect to the art of striptease.
Support it. Let's make it clear. Queer Coded Country supports sex work.
I'm loving. I want the feather fans.
Yeah,
and the
you
bikinis.
You wanted
and the
Pamela
headpieces.
Anderson's
Yes.
lead role in
Yes.
The Last Showgirl.
That's right. Yes. Yes, I was reviving that.
Yeah. Well, since you only can identify one talent about yourself, I guess I'll say, honestly, I was trying to read you so hard right now, but then I got really emotional because I just know that you are the last showgirl. And like one of your talents is just like warming the room.
Oh my God.
Around you, feather boa or not, it is impossible to be in your orbit and not be like 2 light shades lighter of joy.
Oh, Hunter.
I know. I wanted to be a cunt,
Damn.
but that's what came out. Fuck that
so
marijuana.
sweet.
They got me feeling emotional. Anyway, other talents include being forgetful.
Yeah. Oh,
Never
really
remembering what you need to do for the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Not for the podcast, but what to wear.
Yeah,
Clearly.
that's right.
That's all I got.
Okay, well.
No more. Pissing your pants.
Great at that.
Puking outside an
Asking
Uber.
to be pulled over.
Well, obviously.
What about you?
Well, I obviously have a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
I wrote down making everything about me.
Great.
Or as Brian said, sucking the air out of the air out of the room. Planning Fire Island themes. I feel like that's because my Fire Island themes are not just a theme. They're like 6 layers deep. There's a narrative.
Yeah.
And one time, David and I went to Fire Island and had a 3-part narrative for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night at tea that we had a part 1, part 2, part 3.
Oh, my
More
God.
on that later. Talking and only Housewives references.
Oh,
like
that's
literally
great.
responding to everything in Housewives references.
Yep.
And then the newest one that I put,
my latest talent
I put on my list last night is like fighting with people on Facebook.
Oh.
I had to defend title holder Grand Supreme Stacy on a Facebook war. A bunch of boomers out there acting fucking fools. And mom texted me and was like, you know, oh my God, go look at what happened. Like, what do I say? You know, whatever. And I was like, oh, you don't say a fucking word. I'll take it from here. Tapped in, shredded that bitch. And now I think I'm in my Facebook fighting era because it was therapeutic, bitch.
You let
I
go
was
of
like,
some stuff.
I mean, I had like 6 martinis and a bottle of wine, so you can imagine, but I was crisp. I was sharp. I was fact-checked. And even though they didn't respond, because how could they?
Right.
It felt fucking good to clack my clackety-clack faggot fingers on that keyboard and shred her. And it's not something I want to regularly participate in, but I think every now and then I'm going to get on there and pick a fight.
Let it loose. It's honestly like the fantasy, except you're living it. The fantasy of me like performing in front of my middle school is like the act of like,
oh my God, dropping my card. Sorry.
the act of,
Show's over. Keep going. I know the end.
The act of like fighting on Facebook. Like,
Oh, yeah. It feels good.
It's a little bit of a performance too. That's a talent show.
Oh, well, let us tee up an episode about things that we've experienced and read on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
But until then, I'm like thinking about parting shots. And well, hey, it's time to go.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about parting shots, and it's, wow. First of all, early forms of expression, talent shows, especially for queer kids and anyone that feels like there's something about them that they may not always have the space to share. But also, my parting shot is more mothers should be like Sue Ann and Stacy.
Yep.
And if your 4th, 5th, 6th grader, any age, wants to fucking be a lousy virgin imitating Stockard Channing at a fucking talent show, let them. Because again, just like that photo of me in the top of the pyramid in the cheerleading stunt from the pool, I don't really remember what I felt that day, but I bet it felt fucking good.
Absolutely.
And I bet it was one of the best days of my life.
My parting shot is that just like a breakup, performing in a talent show, you need to know the pain of performing in front of someone. You need to learn a lesson a little bit and about what it's like to put yourself out on the line and being vulnerable.
Yes.
Like, not necessarily that people should get hurt, I guess what I'm trying to say is, but like people should know what
pain, the fear of being called a faggot.
Yeah, they should know
the equivalent of
the feeling of putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and feeling so confident in yourself that you're like, I have a talent.
Yes.
I have something that I want to show people that I'm proud of, and committing to that.
Yes.
And wanting to show people despite who you may be, or if you're like a jock and you want to like do a tap dance or like whatever, like the confidence that you have to be able to enter a talent show and also face your peers' judgment in that way is huge and an invaluable lesson that I think that you can only carry with you years on and teaches you something far earlier than what you might learn otherwise.
Yes. And that's honestly beautiful.
Yeah.
And I have nothing else to add other than if more people were willing to be that vulnerable, Donald Trump probably wouldn't be president.
And what do they say? What do they say? Now think about that.
Now think about that. So
let that soak in.
Let that soak in. And I think with that, let's soak up some more alcohol because I want to forget who I am.
Well, let's go to Yee-Haw to Yes Queen.
Well, shit. I already forgot who I am because I forgot an important part of the show. Time for Yee-Haw to Yes Queen, where producer Sammy will flash things in front of our face that we have not seen, and we will determine where they rank on a scale of Yee-Haw to Yes Queen. Number 1 is Stepmom.
It's Yes Queen.
It's Yes Queen.
It's and Susan Sarandon. It's Julia Roberts. It's them singing Marvin Gaye and Tammy, like
talking about snow blowing.
Oh, baby.
Producer Sammy, you don't know what you've unlocked with that one. And while I could go for 10 more minutes just to get Tucker going for his 45-minute rant on it, we are actually dedicating an episode to Stepmom. You heard it here first.
Love it.
Next one. Producer Sammy had to pause and say, well, is it Yee-Haw or Yes Queen? It's fucking Yes Queen.
Yeah.
Old time rock and roll. It's
Yee-Haw. Yeah.
For a second, I was like, I was searching, like my filing cabinet was going off. No, because you know what? They played that at the Arkansas State Show of Champions dance too.
Oh, yeah.
And the bitches would get down. But Bob Seger's a little Yes Queen.
I love Bob Seger. Love Bob Seger. He knows how to strike emotion. Extemporaneously speaking.
I can't even pronounce that, and I don't think it's Yee-Haw or Yes Queen. No, I'm kidding. It's Yes Queen because that's
Queen.
A cunty ass skill.
Yes, honey, extemporaneously speaking. And I don't remember what the topic was. It was FBLA, so they gave me a business topic.
Oh my God.
They're probably like, dividends, go.
Oh my God, that is
honey,
what it was
improv.
like. Honey, dividends, taxes, tax evasion, go. Okay, but also manifesting. If we ever have a live show, Q&A, extemporaneously speaking. and the audience members give you a topic and you go, and maybe I'll practice and learn too.
Yeah, exactly, honey. You just gotta use your imagination.
Well, I famously lost that because of capitalism.
Well,
And on that,
I think we gotta bounce on that one. So to that, we say,
y'all come back now, you queer. Queer Coded Country is created and hosted by Hunter Poole and Tucker Travis, produced and edited by Sammy Junio.